Hello guys, so today I'll be solving mathematics O-levels past paper of May-June 2022. This is mathematics syllabus D and this is the P1. So just you can read the instructions right here. We'll just go ahead and start solving the problems. So first of all, let's look at the first problem, which is to work out this fraction that they have given to you. You have to solve it. The easiest way you can solve this is if you can take the LCM, and you can see that 6 is the biggest divisor over here, so you can multiply 3 by 2, and if you multiply 3 by 2 you also have to multiply 2 by 2. You have to add 1, and this will give you 4 plus 1 over 6. This will become 5 over 6, and this is your first answer. Now you have to multiply 0.4 by 0.2. Let's look at this. So first you multiply 4 by 2, it gives 8. And now, as far as the decimal places are concerned, you have to check the decimal places. This is 1 decimal place, and this is also 1 decimal place. So 1 plus 1 is 2. So 2 decimal places you have to count from here. 1, 2. You're going to place your stop over here, and this is your answer, 0.08. Let's now see question number 2, and here you can see Asha asked a group of students about their favorite fruit. The table and the pictogram shows some of the results. Complete the table and the pictogram. So now, as you can see in the key here, they have shown that one complete circle represents 4 people. So this is 4, 8, and then 12, and so on. But notice that when you are given 3/4 of a circle, that means that it represents 3, right? 3/4 means that this shape is representing 3 people. So you have 8 apples, so you have to just simply divide 8 by 4. So this is going to give you 2. This means that you have to draw 2 complete apples like this. Now you have to write for bananas. So 4 people is represented by 1 circle. So 4 times 3 is 12. Simple as that. And now you have 5 oranges. 5. So when you divide 5 by 4, you're going to get 1 complete and then 0.25. This means that you have to draw 1 complete and then 1 like quarter circle like this. Melons, 4. This is 4. This is 3. So 7 melons. Write down the mode. Now the mode, just remember this. I can give you detailed lecture on each topic, but you can, as for now, just remember that mode is the most frequent number. Most frequent number or entity or whatever, right? What is the most frequent entity? You can check over here. So 12 bananas. So your fruit is the mode of the fruit would be banana. Simple as that. Now let's talk about this. Question number 3. A and B are vertices of a quadrilateral. Line L is a line of symmetry of the quadrilateral. Find the coordinates of the 2 vertices of the quadrilateral. They want you to find the vertices of the other 2 vertices of this quadrilateral. So you see, this is the line of symmetry. B is over here. So the other line, other vertex will be right across it here. 1 unit up here. Here you can see we're shifting 1 complete block. So this is your line, and it is making this. Look at this. Like this, like this. So you have to join this. Let's try to join this. This would be it. Now you can erase this. Now let's mark these points. This is 3, 4, and this is 4, 2. You can write these over here, 4, 2, and then 3, 4. The temperature inside Luke's house is 18 degrees centigrade. The temperature outside his house is minus 3 degrees centigrade. Find the difference. Remember, in difference, you always have to subtract. So 18 difference, subtract of minus 3. Don't forget the minus over here. You're going to get 21 degrees centigrade. Just write 21 because degree centigrade is mentioned here. But just remember this, that sometimes they don't mention the unit. So then you have to add unit. If you don't add the unit, your numbers can be deducted. But where they are given, you don't have to write them. Luke's thermometer measures the temperature correct to the nearest degree. Very important information. Nearest degree. At midnight, the thermometer measures the temperature outside as minus 6 degrees centigrade. Find the upper bound of the temperature outside at midnight. So you want to find the upper bound. First, you have to find out the error value. What's the error value over here? So nearest degree is 1 degree centigrade. So nearest degree you have to divide by 2 because you want to find out the upper bound. So half degree centigrade is 0.5 degrees centigrade. Now you want to find out the upper bound. Next important information. Upper bound means that you just have to add it. Negative 6 plus 0.5, which is going to give you minus 5.5 degrees centigrade. Easy as you like. Simple as that. Okay, so this is the easiest question that they can ever give you. The scale drawing shows the position of two villages A and B. The scale is 1 centimeter to 2 kilometers. So basically what they mean by this is that 1 centimeter on this page that they have given to you, this question page, it is represented by 2 kilometers. So this is the key. You see, when you have maps, this is always done that because you see they can't give you the entire measurements on a page. We don't have that big of a page. So they will always give you a scale that a certain centimeters on this page represents this many kilometers in actual life, in real life. So here 1 centimeter represents 2 kilometers. So what you have to do, find the actual distance between villages A and B. So what you have to do is you have to village A and B, you have to find the difference. You just put a scale over here. You have to take a scale on the exam day, right? And you have to draw a straight line over here. Now I don't have a scale, so this kind of line you will draw, and after drawing this line you will measure with your scale the distance from here to here. Accurately measure, just recheck it twice or thrice. What's the distance over here? When I checked out, it was 9.3 centimeters, so that's what I'm going to use. So 9.3 centimeter is the distance, but that's not what they're asking you. They're asking you the actual distance. Read the paper very carefully before attempting. It's not hard, it's just need attention. It just requires attention. You have to read the paper correctly. So there are a lot of methods to solve this. A lot of people will tell you there are different methods, but I think the easiest method should be told to you, so that a single method that can be applied to any questions afterwards. So I will recommend you the ratio method. If you can just learn this one method of ratios, you can do all these questions here. Even in the SATs and the A levels, the harder questions can be done by this method. So just learn this very simple technique. What you have to do, the two quantities that you're comparing, you have to first write them, like we're comparing centimeters with kilometers over here. All right, then we know that 1 centimeter is equivalent to 2 kilometers. Right here it's written 1 centimeter is equivalent to 2 kilometers. Then the distance that we measured, which is 9.3 centimeter, which you will place over here. And then in the kilometer area, you will add your unknown value x. Now don't get confused by what is x. X is just an unknown value. Multiply, cross multiply these. When you cross multiply this, you will realize that x is equals to 9.3 times 2. You won't have the calculator, so you have to do it manually. So it's very easy. Just 3 times 2 is 6, 9 2s are 18, 1 decimal place, so 18.6. easy as you like. Next part, measure the bearing of B from A. B from A, what does this mean? B from A, this means from A you have to draw a northward like this. Remember that whenever they say B from A, the last value, the last entity, you have to draw a northward. So you draw northward, and from that you move in a clockwise direction. Bearing of B from A means a clockwise movement from here to here. You're going to put a D over here, and simply you're going to measure it. There's going to be no problem, you're just going to measure it. So now here, in reality, let me just use a different color to demonstrate. Here, this is where you will put your D. So you unfortunately will not be able to measure the distance that I'm telling you, but figure out that you would be able to measure only this distance, this angle. So you can figure out this angle, but I'll tell you a technique. This angle, when I figured out, it was 17 degrees. So now to find out this angle, you have to realize that this is a 90-degree angle. When you look at like this, it's a 90-degree angle. So what do you do if this angle is 90 degree and you have a line like this and this angle is 17 degree? What do you do to find out this angle? You subtract it by 90, because this entire angle is 90 degree. So all you have to do over here is subtract 90 by 17, which is going to give you 73 degree. This is your answer. Here, add the degree sign. Look, they have not added anything over here. So you need to add the unit over here. Don't forget to add the unit. Kabir invests $250 in a saving account. The account pays simple interest at a rate of 1.5% per year. Calculate the total amount of interest he will receive at the end of the year. First of all, the question is of simple interest. Then, second of all, let's highlight the useful entities. $250 is your principal amount, it's your investment. $150, 1.5% per year is your rate, which is denoted by R, and 4 is your time. Now, what is the formula for simple interest? We're doing this from what? 7th grade? The formula is A is equals to PRT. So first of all, I would recommend you to write it separately, because you see the marks are 2, you don't want to lose them. So you should write it over here that your P is $250, your rate is 1.5%, and your time is 4 years. Now let's start investing and putting values in. Principal amount, which is $250. Here, $250. Rate is 1.5. But rate we don't want in percent, we want it in a unit value. So 1.5%, percent is always divided by 100, and time is 4. Now of course calculator won't be there, so how would you be solving this? Look at this. How about you cancel this 0 in the denominator by the one in numerator, because all the entities are multiplying. When the entities are multiplying, you can cancel the zeros up and down. Alright, now figure this out. Multiplying this with this is hard, but 25 times 4, that's easy. You can do it on a separate area. Let's say, for example, you can do it over here. 25 times 4. 5 times 4 is 20, 0 to 4 times 2 is 8, and 8 to 10, 100. If your math is strong, you can do it in your head, but I will not recommend that. So now you're going to put 100 over here, and you're going to put 1.5 over here. You're going to divide it by 10. Again, as I said, you can divide the zeros, you can cancel them, and 1.5 times 10. Again, strong mental capability. If you have, you can write 15 over here, or you can multiply 1.5 by 10. Long procedure, but you should have learned by now that if you have anything by point and it's multiplying by 10, it really means you have to move it a step further, one block right, and if it is inherent negative, then you have to move it one block in towards the left. Remember this, all right? So $15. Question number 7. The area of the rectangle is 9 centimeters square. Area of triangle is 8 millimeters square. Calculate the shaded area. So this is the area that they want you to find. Just look at this. This is what they want you to find. And this is what you have to subtract. Again, it's a ratio question. It's very easy, but it's ratio because the thing that's going to confuse you over here is that they have given you the area of rectangle in centimeter squares, but the area of triangle in millimeter squares. So what do you do? Very simple. Again, you have to convert centimeters into you have to convert millimeters into centimeters, and then you have to subtract them because you have to find the shaded area. Shaded area usually means that you have to subtract. Just remember this: shaded area is equals to total area minus unshaded area. So total area is 9 centimeter minus unshaded. Now let's find out the unshaded. How do we do? Simple ratios we told you. What are those ratios? So we want to convert centimeter into millimeters. We know that 1 centimeter is 10 millimeter. But our question is not in centimeter, it is in centimeter square and millimeter square. So you have to square both sides like this. So again, 1 centimeter, because the square of 1 is 1, the square of 10 is 100 centimeter square. Now it's simple conversion. The ratios that I already told you, right? Centimeter, right here, sorry, millimeter, 100, and simple, they have given you here is you're going to write 85. Here it's going to be x. You're going to move it again, cross multiply it. 85 divided by 100. This becomes 0.85, because from here we have to move 2 blocks back. Move 1, 2. Put your point over here. 0.85. 0.85 millimeter squares. Conversion done. Minus 0.85. You subtract them and you're going to get 8.15 centimeter square. Now how did I subtract it? 9.00, 0.85. The bigger entity is always at the top, the smaller is at the bottom. You should know this by now. Here we're going to write 8, here we're going to make 10, which is then going to cancel out, and then it's going to become 9, right? It cancels out and then become 9, and here it's going to be 10. You put 5 over here, 9, you put 1 over here, and then here you put 8. So 8.15 is your answer. Simple as that. Next question. The diagram shows a pentagon. Find the value of A. This is a pentagon, and you should have memorized it by now that the total angle of a pentagon, the total angle of the angles inside a pentagon is 540 degrees. But there's a cool formula which can help you find the angles inside any shape, not just a pentagon. What about an octagon? What about other shapes? So how about you memorize this formula? N minus 2 times 180, where n is the number of sides. A pentagon has 5 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 minus 2 times 180, 3 times 180, you can multiply it over here. 180 times 3, 0, 4, 2, 540. right? Easy. Next, we have found out that the sides are 540, but we want to find out the angle A. How do we find them? We add all these together and then we subtract it by 540, making A the subject of it. So let's write it. 110 plus 125 plus 95 plus 65 plus A is equals to 540. Now here you want to do your calculations in manually. Now be very careful over here. The paper is going to be very easy, but just remember that you freak out most of the time in these calculations. So don't freak out, take breath, take a complete breath, just relax, and now start subtracting them. All right, so we have to add them together. Yeah, sorry. 5 plus 5 plus 5 is 15. You're going to add 5 over here. You're going to carry 1. Now 9 plus 6 is 15. 15 plus 2 is 17. 18, 19. 9 over here and 1 again in the carry. 395. 395 is the total sum over here. So you're going to make A the subject of this formula, and 540 minus 395. All the terms here we're adding, so when you move it towards the other side, just remember that you have to subtract. When you subtract it here, 395, you also subtract minus 395 here. So this thing complete cancels out over here. You're left with 540 minus 395. Just quickly go ahead and do that. Here you add 3, 10, this becomes 5, 4, 13, 4, 1, 145. 145 degree is your answer. Again, do not forget the unit over here. You're going to mess it up. Just do not forget the unit whatsoever. All right, next one. Shani makes a sequence of pattern using counters. Pattern 1, pattern 2, pattern 3. I see an interesting pattern over here. We are being blessed with 3 counter tiles in a horizontal direction like this, and then we're given 2 extra ones at the top and at the bottom. Here, similar, we are given 2 because the pattern number increases, so simply these just horizontal bars, you can say, increases, and then again the similar pattern 2 over here. Third time, again I'm sensing the same pattern over here, and then up and at below we have the similar 2 tiles, one at the top and one at the bottom. So complete the table. Let's figure out the difference over here. You are going to 8, so you're adding 3 in 5 to get 8. Again you're adding 3. Again you have to add 3 because you see my suspicion was right. You just increase these bars. These are constants. One horizontal bar of 3 balls is increasing. So this becomes 14 and this becomes 17. Find an expression in terms of n for the number of counters in pattern n. Pattern n, now they want you to derive the formula. Whenever they say find an expression in terms of n or anything like this, where they're trying to get an expression out of you, just know they want a formula from you. All right, how do you derive a formula? Well, how I see it is that you are multiplying 3 by whatever the pattern number is. Like for example, in pattern 2, you have multiplied 3 times 2 and then you're adding 2 in it. In pattern 3, you're multiplying 3 by 3 and then you're adding 2 in it. So this means that you're multiplying the pattern by 3 and then you're adding 2 in it. Let's see if the theory holds true for pattern 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 plus 2 is 11. True. Let's say for pattern 2. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 plus 2 is 8. It's right. Part C. Shani has 100 counters. She uses some of the counters to make pattern 20. She uses all the remaining counters to make pattern K, an unknown pattern. Find the value of K. So first, let's find out the number of counters in pattern 20. So we have found out the formula. We just have to multiply 3. Our n is supposed to be 20 right now. Just don't forget this, that n is right now 20 because we're finding out the pattern. So let me just enlist you what we're going to do. First of all, we're going to find out the counters. Find counters. Know the logic of this question. Find the counters in pattern 20. Then we're going to subtract it by 100. Because we have 100 counters in total. Remember this. So you're finding out the counters in 20th pattern, and then you're subtracting it by 100, and then you're using the remaining, the subtracted one, the one remaining after finding out the counters in pattern, after subtracting your pattern by 100, you have to find out what pattern it is. So third point is going to be inserting it in formula. Inserting in formula to find pattern number. So let's do that. 3 times 20 plus 2. This is equivalent to 3 times 2 is 60. 60 plus 2 is 62. So let's subtract 100 in the second step. Step 1. Step 2, 100 minus 62 gives you 38. Step 3 is you want to put it in the formula. So your formula is 3n plus 2 is equal to 38. Subtract here 2. So when you subtract by 2, you also subtract by 2 over here. You should know that when you're adding and subtracting 2, they become 0. Here it becomes 36. You divide by 3, and this becomes 12. 3 times 1 is 3, and 2, 12. If you don't know this complicated maths, you can always just do this manually. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. And just cancel it. 12 would be your answer. A bag contains a red ball, a blue ball, wait a second, I'm sorry, blue balls, and then green balls. Okay, understood. And then the ratio is given, the ratio of red to blue and then green to blue. So work out the fraction of the balls that are blue. What you're supposed to do in these kind of questions is that you have to make a mind map over here. Add red fraction, commas, blue fractions, and then green fractions. Now, what is the ratio of red to blue? It's 3:8. Look this up. What is to green to blue? Green to blue is 2:5, but you have to reverse it because yours is blue to green. So this would be 5:2. Then what you do is you multiply this in a pattern, and let me show you what pattern that is. In this pattern, you multiply 2 with 8, you multiply 8 by 5, and then you multiply 5 by 3. You make this staircase pattern. Alright, so you multiply 8 by 2, 8 times 2 is 16, 8 times 5 is 40, and then 5 times 3 is 15. So they want, what do they want? They want the fraction that is blue. Which one's blue? 40. 40 divided by the total. You have to add all these three together. 40 plus 15 plus 16 1, 1, 5, 6, 7, 71. 40 by 71 is your answer. Simple as that. 3 marks they have given to you. It's like free marks over here. All right. We have done 10 questions of P1, and we'll do the rest in the next video. Thanks.